Why is Jon Jones still pound for pound number one? The question we all ask. He has not been dominant since the Anthony Smith fight, and even in that fight, there was a chance that Anthony Smith could have took the legal knee, stayed down, pulled an Aljo, and would have won. Well, an Aljo before Aljo, and would have been the UFC light heavyweight champion. But outside that, I mean, he still dominated that fight, but it was a chance he could have lost the fight. But the Thiago Santos fight's close. Well, I say it's fights. The Thiago Santos fight was close. The Dominic Reyes fight was real close. And I usually side with Jon Jones on fights, but that was a fight where I feel like he lost Dominic Reyes. I just still think he's a far much better fighter than Dominic Reyes. But stylistically, how that fight played out, and on that night, I feel like Dominic Reyes won that one. As we all know right now, Dominic Reyes is getting picked apart. Another thing, like, so Jon Jones still pound for pound number one, and he had two hard fights. He got the decision. Very close, was not dominant in those last two fights. Very close. And a lot of people say it could have went either way. And I definitely said the last fight should have went the other way. I felt he beat Thiago Santos, but either way, both the fights were close, not dominant. Hasn't been very active. I think he hasn't fought since 2020, which isn't too far away. But has not fought at all in 2021 and won't fight in 2022. So it's gonna have like a year off, and hasn't been dominant. And then also the two guys he beat and struggled with have got stopped, or not. Yeah, Chael Sonnen got stopped by Glover, lost a close fight to Rakic, and Dominic Reyes got stopped twice. He got stopped by Blachowicz, the current UFC light heavyweight champion, and he got stopped by Jiri Prochazka. So both those guys got stopped. And yes, I don't know how he's pound for pound number one. There's not really much justification you could give him. Yeah, there's not much justification you could give. But yeah, it's this truck out here that's been extra. But I'm gonna keep rolling with it. This video might be deleted, might stay up, but it is what it is. I'm on this roll with it and go right to it. It's like it's getting louder the more I talk, but yeah, the ghetto. But Jon Jones should not really be pound for pound, to be honest. Like, skip to the point, be quick to the point, like I'm always in with everything. He should not be pound for pound number one. And only reason justification I could give for him being pound for pound number one is marketing. Yes, you might say, oh, this guy is this and the guy is that. At one point, when they said put Khabib over Jon Jones, I like that. I just felt like that was decorative. Like, Jon Jones still should have been pound for pound number one. But really looking at it now, I feel like Khabib definitely should have been pound for pound number one over and deserved to be over Jon Jones. It's not like saying pound for pound number one is all time pound for pound. Like, everyone that's active right now, as far as where they rank when their career is over, where they should be ranked, it's about what have you done for me lately with pound for pound number one and pound for pound rankings in general. Yes, you're great. Yes, you did. Like Anderson Silva. But yeah, Anderson Silva might be great and all, but of course he's not gonna be nowhere near the pound for pound rankings. He was like 1-7 in like the last 8 fights, so he's not gonna be nowhere near the pound for pound rankings. But to be more relevant to this point, say you're a dominant champion, you haven't fought in 2-3 years, and the other guy's been active and doing good, or you've been a dominant champion, but you've been struggling for the past 2-3 years against your competition, like, and then the other guy's coming up and he's running through his competition. He's been more active than you. He's putting on better performance than you. He's looking cleaner. You got to drop. I'm not saying you become irrelevant. As long as you have the belt and all stuff, you're still the champion. You're still great. Your legacy is still your legacy. But what have you done for me lately? And I know what he has done lately. Struggle with PEDs, but that don't count because that's not what they judge it based on. But he has struggled with his competition. And I think a real guy that should be number one is Kamaru Usman. I think that's what everyone should be thinking. It should be Kamaru Usman because, again, it comes down to what have you done for me lately. Kamaru Usman has been more active, much more active than probably most people on the roster, and he's the champion. He's been getting stoppages, finishing his competition, knocked out Gilbert Burns, knocked out Jorge Masvidal, beat Jorge Masvidal twice, knocked out Kobe Covington, really his best competition, and he's been active, and he's probably about to have another. Matter of fact, he's about to fight Kobe Covington again, and if he beats him again, that's another statement to make him number one pound for pound. So I really think the only reason Jon Jones is, matter of fact, let me just say another thing. I don't think anyone else should be over Jon Jones. You can say Adesanya has been doing the same thing, but he came up, stepped up, he lost. He lost to Blachowicz. He would have beat Blachowicz or Blachowicz. He would have been maybe pound for pound number one because, you know, he had the popularity to him, and then he became a double champ. That's pound for pound right there. You beating somebody in another weight class, 2 weights, and also coming in, well, not the fact that he chose coming light. For whatever reason, it maybe played against him by coming in that light, but it's not like they're going to give you more props. I mean, your fans and the public and the judges, not the judges, but pound for pound not going to judge you based off coming in lighter. That's just something he chose to do, maybe for advantage, maybe for speed. But yeah, if he went up, probably would have been pound for pound number one. But I feel even though Kamaru Usman hasn't done anything outside of his weight class, Jon Jones hasn't either. And same with Khabib. Khabib ain't doing nothing outside his weight class, but it's about what have you done for me lately. And I feel like Usman, even including Khabib, has been the most impressive as far as activity combined with dominance has been the full package. He's been out there. Khabib been fighting like once a year or once every 2-3 years, and Usman been fighting like 2-3 times a year. And now he's getting stoppages as well. So I feel like Usman, even if Khabib is around, Usman should be the #1 pound for pound over everyone. Adesanya, I feel like he's in his rightful spot. Kind of maybe should be below Blachowicz because he lost to Blachowicz. But yeah, but a little bit, that's a little bit odd. I feel like Blachowicz should be above him, but it is what it is. So, but I feel like Adesanya for the most part roughly in this spot. Heavyweight right spot. Everyone else I feel like is kind of respectfully in that right spot, but I feel like Jon Jones should be #2 and Usman should be #1. Like I said, even right there, that's giving Jon Jones a whole lot of respect. He has not been looking that dominant, hasn't been looking that clean, hasn't been active that much, but he's still holding that #2 spot, even given all that and all these other champions looking dominant, looking clean, or at least looking, not all the other champions, but a lot of these other champions having, good cases themselves to be higher ranked or to rise up the ranks. And even now, looking far from his best, he's still at #2 in like where he should be as far as the rankings. Right now, he's still #1, which is crazy. But I feel like Usman has done more than enough to secure the #1 spot until Jon Jones proves otherwise. Like he goes up and maybe beats Stipe and then beats Ngannou or beats Gon or something like that. Then, without a doubt, he should be #1 pound for pound. Or even he went back down to light heavyweight, beat Blachowicz dominantly, and maybe to beat Prochazka or something like that. But as of right now, I don't think he deserves a spot at all. And I think the only thing could be marketing, because Jon Jones, he's not the most marketable fighter for a lot of reasons. Doesn't talk good trash, involved in a lot of different issues with drugs and illegal matters, drive around, shooting guns, and all that other stuff, drinking and driving. He's just not the most promotable guy. So to keep him at #1 pound for pound, just based off like what he's accomplished in the past, and still being relatively undefeated outside that DQ, until maybe they try to use that as a marketing ploy to get him against maybe like Ngannou or Gon or whoever it is, or Stipe, and then somebody potentially takes that O or competes to take that O from him, or take that lineal title, or take that like lineal GOAT status, or I don't know, as far as active fighters from him. That's what can make him a better sell. It sounds a lot better to sell him as #1 and #2. So I guess for me, I just feel like marketing is the only thing. It may be just holding on to the past in a way. I'm not saying Jon Jones is past his prime or his best days are in his past. He still has a lot of stuff ahead of him, but it's definitely a big thing leaning to the past. But yeah, to conclude this video, I would say Kamaru Usman should be #1. Jon Jones should be #2. And the only reason I can see why he would be #1 is really marketing. Because he needs it heavily. He don't really have much other push. Like, he's talented, he's a great fighter to watch, but to the mainstream, a lot of other people that for some reason still don't know this man, even though he's been on top for so long and been around for so long. The main draw to draw those people in, the best sell for him is to keep him at #1. So that's my only thing for it. And that concludes this video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.